What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Coale, DC, UPenn's finest, Chris Coulter, CB Coacher Boy. We got another great episode for you guys today. We will be recapping Week 4 in the NFL. We got 8 games on our slate. Tons of action this week. It was definitely an action-packed week. A lot of headlines, a lot of injuries, unfortunately. But before we get started, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, 5-star review. Let's just swing it to Danny to get started with Summits and Plummets. It's been a bit since we had all three of us.
Yeah, it's been a bit. Summit of the week. Playoff baseball is underway, and we're doing this after the Tigers game today. Therese Coulter had an all-time performance, 14 strikeouts. That's what you like to see in playoff baseball. It's all about nitty-gritty wins. I love it. Playoff baseball is like one of my favorite times of the year because it coincides with football. You get baseball during the week, football on the weekends. October's very own for a reason. I'm not October's very own. It's Tony's birthday week. It's birthday's in about 5 residual hours from this recording. So hell of a time to be alive. Shouting out Coach's very own with that line. So double summit with that one.
Shout out. Can't be mad at it. Chris.
Well, I'm adding a summit now because I forgot your birthday was that close. So another summit is someone's birthday coming up. I'm adding one. Did not have that on my bingo card, but bingo Yahtzee, if you will. Other summit, charge them hoes a fee. Nafisia Collier. That's my girl.
They're calling her the W's Martin Luther King.
They're calling her the Bane of the WNBA. And unfortunately, Kathy's Batman in the beginning of the movie, not the end.
Batman Bane or Desmond Bane?
No, Batman Bane. Well, forehead Bane. But yeah, I think that was cool to see because I feel like Fee was saying what a lot of WNBA players and fans have been saying a long time. So it was good to see one of the top 3 players speak up. So that was dope to see. And then the other summit was I watched one of my good friends get married this weekend, and I was in it this past week when I missed last Thursday. Very cool experience. Only my second wedding, so I didn't know what to expect. It was really fun for being a part of it. My mom was there. We took some pictures and stuff. She took pictures of me. It was cool, man. It was really, really cool. So shout out to the Kegels again on their union. And yeah, I only have summers right now. Basketball is on the way back. Media day is today. Or was today. So that was seeing all the just random stuff just reminded me of basketball's back. So yeah.
Wait. Yeah. The Sixers had their media day a couple weeks back. Last week, right?
Yeah, I think they're like finishing. Oh no, those were interviews, right?
Some teams that are doing preseason overseas, they do it early. So that's why the Pelicans had theirs early as well.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that because I know the Sixers had theirs last Friday. So a little backstory: Daryl Morey was about to come to speak at the conference on an ad hoc thing. I actually saw Daryl Morey last Friday. I didn't call him a liar though.
You should have took him out.
You missed your James Harden chance, then.
Yeah, bro. Do you want your basketball team to be good or not? How bad do you want it?
At what level are you dedicated to winning?
Exactly. Do you want this Embiid ring or no? You have to be serious about these kind of
Unfortunately,
things.
That's not in Morey's hands. That's an Embiid's knee problem.
Look, man. I'm sure a better GM could work it out with a 7-footer who can score at all 3 levels and plays all NBA level defense. So, but my summits and plummets in the college football world really, really simple. Huge week for Oregon. I bumped them all the way up to number 1. That was a fantastic win. Dante Moore looked great. Looks every bit of the Heisman with Mateer hurt. He was absolutely awesome. Like there were points of the game where they were driving downfield. They just couldn't capitalize in fourth in short situations, things like that. But they stuck with their guns. Even despite Aller picking it up a little bit later in the fourth quarter. And another shout out to Alabama. They lost to Florida State to open the year. It wasn't looking great, but they look very much back in the thick of the playoff race. Huge win against a good Georgia team. I would say like Georgia and Alabama are probably looking like the 2 best one-loss teams in the country at the moment. So shout out to those programs. Biggest loser this weekend is by far Penn State, and they're not my only loser. I do have one more, but huge loss. I mean, you get down the field, you score in overtime, you don't get a stop, and then you don't get another stop. And then you throw an interception in a triple coverage after playing 3 quarters of garbage football. But because you play 10 minutes of decent football, people are like, oh, well, he's the only reason they were back in the game. Bo Pribulo wins this football game. Trace McSorley wins this football game. Sean Clifford wins this football game. There are so many Penn State quarterbacks who I know did not work out in the NFL or just aren't with us with our team anymore, and they win this football game because they never felt like they had to play scared with Trace McSorley. They never had to play scared with Sean Clifford. They could just let them play. But for some reason, the quote most talented quarterback arguably in Penn State history, we can't let him rip because he does dumb stuff like this. So I digress. And then my other loser is Florida State. That's a tough loss. That's a very tough loss to a good Virginia team. Don't get me wrong. Very good Virginia team. They should be ranked. I hope they're on people's radars right now. They're going to be a really good team for the rest of the year. But they're unfortunately on this loser list. So, yeah. But let's get into the peak of the week that we voted on was the Chargers losing to the Giants in a game that featured Malik Neighbors getting hurt, Joe Alt getting hurt, I believe the 4th and 5th picks of the 2024 NFL draft. It was something like that. They both went very high. They both went extremely high. And, it's very sad to see that, but the clear headline of this one, Jackson Dart wins his first NFL start. Danny, I want to go to you on this one. Jackson Dart the stats didn't pop out. The chart doesn't look amazing, but what did you see that Dable did? Is there anything that Dable did that you wanted him to do to make sure that Dart had this level of success? And was there anything Dart did specifically that you liked?
He's playing the same way he did at Ole Miss. Like his body doesn't matter. I love that. Although he's a first-round quarterback, I really don't care. You're playing for the Giants. You need to go out there and prove something. Don't slide. Don't live to see another down. Go take a hit. Throw a shoulder at somebody. Bounce off somebody. Break a tackle. Why not? Like, when you're Mahomes and Allen and all these other quarterbacks, slide, get a first down, and you're the franchise guy. Dart has things to play for. He has a lot to prove. So go out there and prove it. And I think that's what he did. Look, can he improve his efficiency? Can he improve in the intermediary downs? Can he take more shots downfield? Granted, with no Malik Neighbors going forward, going to be like a lot of Jalen Hyatt and Wando Robinson, which not awful. Yes, they can improve in that stuff. But overall, very encouraging sight from Jackson Dart. And I like the way he threw with anticipation. He looked very that's the one thing in the NFL that quarterbacks lack and usually don't develop, usually early on. So the fact that he has anticipation coming into his first game says a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Agree with everything you're talking about. Chris, I have pretty much 2 questions for you. One, what did you think of Dart? Knowing that me and you weren't particularly the highest on him going in, but this is the reality now, and hopefully for the Giants' sake, he can work out. So 1, what did you like from him? And 2, what can Dable do going forward? You just lost a top 7, 8 receiver in the NFL, and that was kind of going to be the backbone of your rookie finding success early on. So if you're Dable, what are you trying to do for him going forward without Neighbors?
Well, first of all, for Dart, I was pleasantly surprised. I have to admit I didn't watch a ton of him in college, like game wise, but I watched highlights and stuff when time to get ready for the draft. And I just didn't see anything like that jumped off the screen, I would say. But in his debut, I feel like that was the cool part about it. He took what they gave him. He used his legs, which is probably his most important asset currently, and he made it happen against a Chargers defense that's been playing really well. So I was impressed by Dart, especially doing without Malik Neighbors for a good portion of that game. I think he looked really, really good, all things considered, with the Giants roster and everything. So yeah, I think that was probably just my takeaway from that. He looked confident, and I think that's the main thing for a rookie quarterback, no matter if you drafted 1 or last. Just the confidence when you do get in there, and I think he looked confident. So shout out to Jackson Dart for a great preview. I mean, a great premiere. Sorry. And with Dable, I think it's just keeping it simple. Honestly, just keeping it simple. Not as you don't have neighbors, more things can be underneath. You can have him use his legs even more. You can really run Scatterboo, because I think Scatterboo looked really good too for what he did in that game. I think you kind of just keep it close to the chest, everything 5 to 10 yards until you can get it, dink and duck down the field and try to score that way. But like I said, I think it's just keeping it simple, as you do for most rookie quarterbacks, just keeping it simple. Just let him use the skills that he's confident in already as he grows the other ones, as his time in the league goes on.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I love that you pointed out, the relying on Scatterboo, because, originally it was going to be him and Tracy really running that backfield. But of course, they leaned away from Scatterboo for the first week or two. But now I think he's going to get a huge workload. And look, I don't know about his longevity in the NFL just because of his workload at Arizona State. His workload in these first couple of years in the NFL are going to be insane. But for this year alone, he's the perfect back to, give him like 300 touches, 350 touches in a season. He's reliable. He's very durable. And it's going to help out Dart a lot. And it could honestly grow his game as a runner too, which there's clearly untapped potential there, as Danny was pointing to. So I agree with everything you guys said. Dart, it didn't jump off the sheet, right? 119 passing yards. That's not, that wasn't no elite performance by any means, but he comes of the school of Jalen Hurts. He said coming to the NFL, he models his game off Jalen Hurts, and goddamn it, 120 yards in a win. That sounds like the school of Jalen Hurts to me. And a rushing touchdown, hey, that gets it done. So huge congrats to him. As on the Charger side of things, though, I mean, Alt's going to be out for a couple weeks. This could get bad very fast. But on the highlight, Quentin Johnston, they're calling him the Josh Allen of wide receiver development. How about it?
Never wrong, just early is what I'm hearing.
I'll listen.
So here's the thing with Danny. He'll get 1 out of every 50 takes right, and, he'll get the victory lap it, but, I can't be mad at it. Even though this is clearly a different player than what he was at TCU. But,
man, I saw the development. I saw the traits. I saw the hard work. I saw him gritting and grinding the hours in the offseason.
Now, you're not even going to say traits, because he didn't have one hands catch at TCU.
I'm saying big body, quick, strong.
I'm about to revoke the good take from you, bro, because you're not even falling back on the right stuff. But anyway, are you guys like smelling disaster for the Chargers season at all without Alt? Do you think they're going to be able to find a way around this with just some good Herbert hoops and a good defense?
I think Herbert McConkey buddy ball is about to be turned, because you got to get those quick passes out without Joe Alt out there. And Lad McConkey was basically just a third tight end last game. So I think that's going to pick up a little bit.
Not a third tight end, but tight end 3, because he was not getting the ball.
That boy Herbert was like, "You open? Nah, Johnston, I got you. Keenan, I got you." I think they just lean on they go back to the Jim Harbaugh school of football. Run the damn ball. And I'm sorry, Danny, I forgot. I'm talking about the Chargers. Didn't even do my thing. Go Chargers, go.
You know what's problem? So I said Joe Chargers go, and they
that
lost.
Was actually really good.
That was my first time saying go Chargers go. But I said that last week and they lost. Every time you said it, they've won. So maybe this week you say it and they'll win again.
All right. So what do I have to say for the Ravens? Please, Jesus, help.
Lord, I've seen what you've done for others.
I've seen what you've done.
Lamar's hamstring.
I've seen you gift Jordan Love, Micah Parsons. Just send me Dexter Lawrence or Simmons. It doesn't matter.
You need Namdi back. Come on.
We need Jesus. But I think for the Chargers, I think they just lean on running the ball more. And I think it's more of the Herbert we saw last year, where it's like less 275-yard games and more 240 yards rushing, maybe 2 touchdowns, and lean on the run game. I think that's kind of what I'm seeing with Jim Harbaugh, just as Alt's out. I think you try to, because you're not going to have as much time with Herbert's not going to have as much time to throw it. So that's kind of what I see.
Who's their backup tackle? Storm Norton or something like that?
It ain't good over there. I'll say that.
Tell you who their Storm Norton, I think, is their backup. Let me check. That'd be a crazy pool if I got that right. Nah. Austin Deculus or Andre Jane. Hey, bro, it's if a dude named Austin Deculus.
That's the point.
Yeah. Good luck. All because I know the offensive tackle market's really thin. There's no one really wants to move offensive tackles right now.
They want to give us a second for Fred Johnson. We are calling it overpriced. Yes,
Eagles gonna call it.
But yeah, I think with the Chargers, what I would really like to see is get Quinn Johnson like real involved with the quick game, like the screen game, the ball in his hands. He is a dynamic athlete, so I would really like to see that him and Ladd sharing the screen touches in on 3rd and 5. Look, you talk buddy ball. Keenan Allen and Justin Herbert might have the most ethical buddy ball in the entire league outside of Puka and Stafford. So we'll see how those next couple weeks go for them. Shout out to Jackson Dart, 1-0 in his NFL career. Nothing like starting the career with a win. Would love to see how NFL quarterbacks pan out after winning their first start. But let's move on to the rest of this week 4 recap. Let's get started right with the one of our Monday Night Football games. It was Dolphins-Jets. Tyreek Hill goes down with his knee blew up. That's kind of the best way to put it. So, but outside of that, I mean, like the Dolphins kind of looked a little bit like their old self. Tua throwing with same anticipation. I thought he did a really good job extending plays yesterday, which is very uncharacteristic of him. So, getting Jalen Waddle involved, all the running backs were getting involved. I really like their involvement, like giving Ollie Gordon the touches on the short yardage situations, the second and medium situations, because he really is a bruising back that provides something different than Achane. So it was a really good win by the Dolphins. Chris, we'll start with you. I know you were really hoping for a Justin Fields masterclass, but unfortunately, the accessories can't play football for him, which I was telling Danny, if they could, we'd be looking at the GOAT. He looks just so fly out there, and it just
there was some good moments though.
That run was sick.
And that pass to Garrett Wilson, maybe the pass wasn't great, but the catch was elite, so everybody wins.
Hey, touchdown pass is a touchdown pass. We're not going to look back and be like, well, he actually Hey,
I don't care if he threw it to his ankles. He caught it. He caught it. That's what.
Put it somewhere where only his guy could get it.
That's what he did. I was hoping for a Justin Fields masterclass. I got a class. It was a class. It wasn't a masterclass. It wasn't necessarily a disaster class, but it wasn't great. I think it's just for the Jets as a whole. I promise to God, they looked like a 1A high school team with the mistakes they were making. Dude, like so many penalties, so just turnovers at the worst time. The turnover I thought was least bad was the Braylon Allen one when he fumbled to the end zone because he was trying to fight for extra ones. It's like, yeah, I wish he would have went down, but I'm not mad at them. The Justin Fields turnover was terrible, and then like the fair catch on the 2. It's like, bro, what are y'all doing? Like, I think it was just so many just blunders, dude. And I think that is the New York Jets over the last 10 years, just a bunch of blunders, and that's just what they are. And the one thing I do want to take away from this, Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall are really good NFL players, really good. And I think they're not going to be shown as good on this team because they just won't ever stack enough momentum to do anything. And I think that's just what it is. Even though the game seemed good, it seemed close. After Tyreek's leg literally blew up on the screen, you got to take advantage of that time and try to come back, and they just didn't do it. I think they made big plays towards the end when it didn't really matter, but at that point, the game's kind of over. So, I don't know, just more the same from the Jets. For me, honestly, I think the Dolphins looked okay, but it's more the same for me from the Jets.
As Breece Hall said, you can't shoot yourself not in the foot, but in the head.
Yeah,
can't do that. They were kill shotting themselves. More likely said, and Chris, you said it, like the other team lose their best player, you need to take advantage of it. If that's a break. You talk about breaks in a football game. That's a break. Like, you need to take advantage of it. And if you don't do that, you're done. You don't win games. This Jets team, write them off. They're done. And look, I just see so many people saying, oh, is Fields the guy to be in New York? He doesn't play bad, but like,
Danny, he plays bad.
They don't. like he plays bad, but like he has moments is what he plays good. And this is what I feared could happen when I said that Fields could be benched in the preseason. That he could be out. My bold pick was that Fields is going to be out by midseason. Is that this Jets team starts off really slow and they just get bounced around and they're like, all right, let's just experiment because we're so bad. Justin Fields clearly isn't the option here. We can cut him at the end of the year for X amount of dollars. Let's just start Tyrod Taylor and tank for whatever quarterback they want. It's going to be Drew Aller, and it's going to be really bad. Welcome home, Drew Aller, to New York Jets.
I mean, he shouldn't declare. I don't think he will, but like Marcel Reed is a redshirt sophomore, and he would be quarterback one of this class, but I don't think he'll declare. Yeah, I mean, you could start either quarterback. You're going to lose games, so it doesn't quite matter.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to this defense. I like parts of the defense. The linebackers have names and players who are very good. They have a decent defensive line with Quinnen Williams and
if a certain
McDonald.
If a certain 40-year-old drug addict didn't get the best defensive head coach in the league fired, then maybe they'd still be good.
Yeah, speaking of that defensive coach, let's move on to the Jaguars and the 49ers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it. I mean, the banged up Niners get even more banged up, and then they lose to the Jaguars, who I mean, this defense is on one, aren't they?
As Liam Cohen said, keep my name out your mouth. And then
he was talking crazy. I didn't know he said all that till like this morning.
Robert Saleh proceeded to say, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
That's insane. Surprised you didn't get fined for that. But yeah. Look, the Jags are playing bad offensive football and winning games. More politely said. They aren't clicking on offense. They're 3-1. They should be 4-0. This team should be 4. They got walked down by Jake Browning for the game. This team should be 4-0, and they got walked down by Jake Browning, who's not good. Really bad quarterback. You take that one drive out, and you beat the Bengals. This is a really good football team, and they're not even all firing all cylinders yet. I think we're starting to look at the Jaguars as real contenders very soon. You put a little bit together. You have Travis Hunter. You have Brian Thomas Jr. Brenton Strange is awesome. Liam Cohen has it going. And he was the success behind Baker Mayfield and all of his playoff success so far. And he continues to be some success in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, look, the clear hero of this team through 4 games, Travis Etienne, is so back. He is so unbelievably back. Ridiculous. The outside zone stuff with him has been elite. It's probably been the best in the league so far. Not named Bijan Robinson and whatnot. But he's absolutely been every bit of a top 5 back so far this year, as far as I'm concerned. Lawrence, and again, Lawrence hasn't even put it all together yet. He's not found his groove with Travis Hunter. He's working on Thomas a little bit. He had 5 catches this week, which is definitely a lot better. But Chris, I want to go to you. I want to go to you on this one about the Niners. They just gave Brock Purdy a lot of money, and I'm not saying it is over for him. We're 4 games into this new contract. But we're starting to clearly see he's not the type of person where you can pay him said money and then he takes up this much of the cap space, meaning we can't really pay that many other people, but we're still expecting you to go win a Super Bowl. If you are the 49ers, how exactly do you approach that situation? Do you think, hey, maybe let's just get healthy and see if he's, still the guy we gave the money to? Do you look to try to maybe move off it this offseason? Again, it's early, but, just what are your thoughts on Purdy through 4?
I think you try to move off of an offseason. Not because Purdy's a bad quarterback or anything like that. I think Purdy's solid. He's in the front half of the top 16. Not front half. He's in the top 16, the front side of it. But I think to your point, it's just too much money to give Brock Purdy just because he's not your superstar quarterback. He's above average, I'd even say. I think he's above average, but he's not
I agree.
super.
I'd agree.
Not
He
super.
does
He's
the
not
good
Josh
thing.
Allen.
He does the little things right.
He does a lot of good things. And if you have the good team like they have, if you the weapons that they had, the Debo's,
On the doorstep of a Super Bowl.
I swear to
Literally.
God. And it's like, if you're there, cool. Purdy's your guy. But if you're not, he's not. Like, and I think that's the bigger deal for me, is you paid him like he's Josh Allen, Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, when he's more closer to that middle. So I think you should have, and that's going to reflect on your team when everybody's not 100% and firing on all cylinders. And I think that's the money that you pay quarterbacks when your team isn't like that. Because you know, Josh Allen can get you a game. Pat Mahomes get you a game. Lamar can get you a game. Like, those guys can get you one. I'm not sure if Purdy can do it on a consistent basis for what he's getting paid. I think he can do it, but for what the price tag is. So I think you try to do it personally.
Yeah.
I think the issue is more so these top guys right now haven't gotten their pay bump yet. The Bengals paid Burrow early. The Chiefs paid Mahomes really early. Lamar got paid relatively early. Then Tua.
Lamar
then
would.
Purdy.
Whoa. Time out. Burrow, Herbert, Lamar did not get paid early. Lamar was on the verge of getting traded.
I'm saying earlier compared to these guys, to Tua, to Purdy, to all these newer guys that got paid $50 million.
I mean, yeah, obvious.
I think Lamar.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, when Lamar and Mahomes and all these and Herbert and all these players are up for new contracts soon, they're going to get like $80 million a year.
I mean, yeah, but even so, I mean, like, if you look at him amongst, like, I'll look up highest paid QBs. I'm gonna say annually.
I think he's like 6.
So he is sitting in an area with. I mean, Dak Prescott makes the most annually. Dak Prescott is certainly better than Brock Purdy.
100%.
Joe Burrow is. Josh Allen is. Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, debatable. I'd take Lawrence. Tua, he's better than Tua, but Goff's better than Purdy. He's getting paid more than Herbert, Jackson, Hurts, Kyler, and yeah, you are right. Those guys did, get their contracts a little bit before, but it's only by like a year or two. And even so, just because the market is hot, just because your quarterback is decent does not mean you have to give him top guy money. You feel me?
I agree.
So
Daniel Jones got $40 million. Bad contract.
A horrible contract.
Let's not cut it.
Absolutely. I remember Chris was on here saying I'd probably pay him like $20 million, and that's genuinely too much.
That's fine. $20 million was fine. I mean,
20 million for Giants version of Daniel Jones.
I mean, here's the thing. He had to play for the Giants, so maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of big thing.
Here, let's jump to Rams Colts while we're at it, because he didn't have his best game either.
And they should have won the game either way. Adonai Mitchell should be castrated.
I mean, look, certainly that lost him the game, but we can't act like Jones was perfect in this one.
No, he wasn't at all.
2 picks kind of looked like his Giants self a little bit. No, this will probably be one of his better games on the Giants, but he has already played well enough where he probably won't get benched this year, and this performance probably won't get him benched. But it's a little bit of a reminder that, like, he's still Daniel Jones, and we're going to get to another quarterback who people like, he's become the quote, like, prototype of this type of quarterback. We'll get to him later, but we are now at the point where it's like, if a 7th year, 8th year quarterback begins to break out, we do have to remember why it took them this long, why they have all these bad traits. Daniel Jones is still very much prone to that. I think Shane Steichen's still going to have some success with him. But
let's keep it real.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Taylor's punching it in the red zone, but he has 6 total touchdowns on offense, 4 passing, 2 interceptions in that game last week, and he has 7 total touchdowns. Sorry, and he has 3 rushing touchdowns. 2 came against Miami in week 1, 1 against Denver, and then 0 the last 2 weeks. You're a quarter through the season, and you are on pace for 16 touchdowns and then 12 rushing touchdowns. Respectfully, You're not an offensive engine. Jonathan Taylor's the engine. He's operating a scheme of offense. I think it's fine. The fact that they almost won the game with him turning the ball over twice there shows that this Colts team could be very legit, especially with a good defense.
Absolutely.
If A.D. Mitchell doesn't do whatever blasphemy happened and then hold on Jonathan Taylor's run, the game's a different game. I think they put the Rams away, and we're looking at a 4-0 team. We're not, and they're closer to the Jaguars now being 3-1, as both teams are, probably coming up on a matchup against each other.
It's gonna be a good race.
Future. So,
yeah. I do have one quick funny remark before we go to Chris. Jonathan Taylor's going to be sitting back at the end of the year. He's like, if I lost the Offensive Player of the Year to a Rams receiver, if I got a nickel every time I did that, I'd have 2 nickels. But why did it happen twice? Because he's probably going to lose it again to Puka when he lost at the Cup 4 years ago.
Well, the problem is
So
Puka. They said, Puka, you have 2 options. Your girlfriend's going to pull that stuff. Longtime girlfriend's going to pull all that stuff that happened for the season. You could get worse and let it affect your mental, or become the Super Saiyan version of yourself. What are you going to do?
Bro, they're saying he watches LeBron highlights before the game. That looks like a guy who watches LeBron highlights before the game. He looks like the best receiver in the league right now. Absolutely
Chris,
insane.
I don't know. There's a podcast he went on with Julian Edelman, and Puka's going to start saying, I want to retire at 30 and then go play overseas hoops and get 30 shots up a game.
I've seen that.
so funny.
Yeah, Chris. So I have 2. All right. So now I have 2 questions for you. One, how did you like how the Rams bounced back after that, disaster against the Eagles? And 2, what's Puka's realistic chances of averaging 20 in some small country basketball league?
I'll answer the second question first. Because Puka Nacua is actually a unit, he's literally the same size. If I say Puka's what, 6'2" or 3? He's 2?
6'4", I think.
I'll get you a height and weight right now.
I think he's 6'4", 215 if I'm not mistaken. Right? Somewhere around there. I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently.
He's 6'2". He's 6'2".
Oh, okay. 6'2".
6'2", 212.
Okay.
About the size of Bronny.
Yeah.
A little bit stockier.
Right. And if you take Bronny and put him in the Turkish Pro League, Bronny will average 28 points right now. Puka's going to go over the average at the least 19, 5, and 5 because he has a motor. That's the answer to the second question. 5 and 5 is important because when you're American, you don't go over there and pass. I'm an overseas player, know that. They bring you over there to shoot the ball. I promise you that. But that's the second question. The first question, I think the Rams look good, man. I think they're just like I said about the Eagles, they're a good team. They have very good players on both sides of the ball. Special teams is okay enough. They're just a very good team. And I think they bounced back like a very good team would. That's led by veterans, Stafford, Adams. On offense, I'm speaking to obviously mostly, but it's just I think they bounced back like any good team would. They knew they had to win this game no matter what, no matter how it happened, no matter if it was close or not. They knew they had to win this game. I think they went out there and did exactly that. So yeah, I'm impressed, 100%. And I think for me, I think just watching them how they play against the Colts team that's been surprising people. I think they're top 2 or 3 in the NFC as a quarter of the season's under the way. I would say it's them, the Eagles, and the Bucs right now. And I like the Rams a lot more than I did preseason before we started giving our rankings and stuff like that. I think they just look like a well-oiled machine that could be around, and that's going to be a problem towards the end of the year. Especially that Devontae Adams ad. Just the threats. Like he's not Devontae Adams from 5 years ago, but bro, you're not gonna leave him one-on-one if you want to on a time where it could be a touchdown pass. Like it's be about the 30. I wouldn't leave him one-on-one still, and you can't leave Puka one-on-one. So they just give you so many problems. I think adding Devontae Adams was the thing that I think I didn't realize as much when I talked about it before. Huge.
Tell you, it was literally just the Jets juice. Devontae Adams ain't never been washed. He can still stretch the field, and in the red zone, I still got him over 95% of receivers in the NFL. He is just absolutely unstoppable in short yardage situations, whether you want to throw the ball up to him or you want to hit him on a quick slant. He's just unreal. This is why he's been one of the best receivers in the NFL for such a long time. Absolutely love his game. But I told y'all we will be getting back to a quarterback that's kind of that same prototype of breakout. let's talk Bears Raiders. Before we get to the Bears, absolutely phenomenal finish to the game with the Caleb game-winning drive and the blocked field goal. I do just want to state Geno Smith is bad. Geno Smith's bad. I know people love to look at like the fat yards he puts up because he throws it 45 times a game and he spreads it all over the field. Well, you spread it a little too much because you start to give it to the other team a little too much. And don't laugh when I say this. He has 6 touchdown passes on the year to 7 interceptions. Okay. So it's just not people, and me, myself included, last year it was like, oh, he threw 15 picks. That's uncharacteristic. Like the film still points out that he's good. Look, at some point you gotta stop turning the ball over. Like
Welcome back,
Dak for 2 years was getting destroyed because he had 10 plus interceptions in back-to-back years. It's like at some point just it's a habit at some point. It's not a bad stretch. But Dak fixed that. Geno, at this rate, like you're gonna have double-digit interceptions this year. You have 7. There's no way you're going the rest of the way only throwing 2. So I just don't have a lot of high hopes for this Raiders team. Not with, secondary that's already questionable as it is, and then your offense is just turning the ball over. Like honestly, if I'm the Patriots, I'm looking back at this week 1 and I'm kicking myself. How in the world did we lose to this team? I know the receiver room isn't great. Keyshawn Boot leading the crew with Stephon Diggs and whatnot, but like still should have been able to take care of the secondary. So yeah, that's just my spill on the Raiders and Geno. I'm not liking what I see. Chris, let's start with you. Caleb, 200 plus yards, touchdown pick. The pick was batted by Crosby and picked off by himself, but y'all know how I feel about batted passes. They still count. What would you rate this performance by the Bears offense as a totality? Roma Dunze started to pick it up late. What'd you think?
I give it a B. I think the turnover is the one thing that takes it from like a B plus A. And obviously, I don't think it was. I mean, it's Caleb's fault. It left his hands, but I mean that's a batted ball, so it can go anyway. But I think I give it a B because I feel like most of the offense is starting to get Ben Johnson-fied, if that makes sense. Like all the pieces that get the ball are starting to contribute, or that should get the ball are starting to contribute. And I think that's what I like to see the most, because I think if you can get Caleb Williams to be, and when I say this, understand what I mean. If you can get Caleb Williams to be an extraordinary game manager in the sense of giving all the playmakers that you have the ball, the Bears offense could be top 6, 7. And if just off what they have talent-wise, I think it could be top 6, 7. I think it could be. And but yeah, I think it really could. And I think Odunze is coming to his own as far as second-year receivers go. I really like what he's shown so far. Zacchaeus has been a random surprise. I mean, I know you know.
Philly legend, baby.
Because I know you know as an Eagles fan. I know you know. But yeah, I think they just look good overall. Yeah, I swear, if they give DeAndre Swift some straight line goggles, he can just run straight. He can be so much better outside just catching the ball in the backfield. But and they haven't even like really started exploring Coast and Loveland as much as they can, or as they probably will soon enough. So I think they looked really good. I think the defense, for what they're missing right now in Jalen Johnson, I think they looked decent. But I think it's going to be a team where they lean on the offense overall, regardless.
Yo, we need to investigate DeAndre Swift brings Zacchaeus with him. Because they were high school teammates. They went to the Eagles together.
Those are St. Joe's finest right there, man.
I think Swift is getting him a role in the offense. He said, slide to Chicago.
Look, Ben Zacchaeus going to find. Look, regardless how it goes, Zacchaeus going to find himself a role. He blocks.
Oh, he's solid.
Catches the ball when thrown to. He's the ultimate receiver role player. You block, you get the rock. It's that simple.
Exactly what Ben Johnson says. You block, get the rock. Luther Burden had that deep shot the other day. He'd been blocking for once. Look, this Bears team is fun. After being beat down and brutalized by the Lions, they had a choice. Turn the season around after being 0-2. Or lay down and die. And they turned the season around. And this team almost called death again. You start season 1 and 3, your season's almost done if you're a Bears fan. And they blocked the field goal. never say die. And I think that's the mentality they're living by. And the Bears have life.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, Caleb Williams is putting together good stats with good film plus wins. That is the most important part. He's looked absolutely phenomenal. And, not to call it early on the year 2 quarterback race, Daniels has played 2 games. But he's very much finding himself back in Daniels, back on Daniels' toes. I would say same with May. They're starting to really cement themselves as the top 3 of that class, as it should have been from the jump. But yeah, I think, you look across the landscape. I don't have every 2-2 football team off the back of my hand right now, but dang, I look at the Bears. I'm like, dang, y'all are 2-2. The vibes are high. Offense is starting to click. Your young quarterback is starting to look like this generational prospect you guys have been mocking him up to be. So that's the good thing with Caleb. It hasn't taken to the back half of year 2 for him to start to really get things going. We had a couple sparks in year 1. We're seeing a lot more sparks early on through 4 games. I think he's going to like Caleb is going to be in some really nice conversations by the time this ends. But let's talk about another year 2 quarterback, or at least his team. Steelers Vikings. Vikings drop a game without JJ McCarthy. The Steelers absolutely have I would say they're not their best offensive day, but they have another great offensive day over in Dublin. DK Metcalf takes an 80-yard touchdown to the crib. Rodgers looks good. They almost blow it at the end, but it does not matter because almost is not good enough. Danny, what'd you take away from this game as a Steelers fan? What were your thoughts?
The Pittsburgh Steelers, they look coherent on offense, and they looked a little bit conservative at the end of the game. And I think that's play calling more than anything, and that's Tomlin's leadership from the top down. But overall, looking at a team that has upgraded skills from the past few years, but maintain that style defense. And I know we always say it's not as easy as, input better quarterback on team automatically gets better. But I think this time it does work that way. Aaron Rodgers comes to a team with stable defense, with stable coaching, and he makes them better immediately because his ability to game manage, not because of his ability to do extend plays, but just be able to call plays, 2 plays, kill one, can one, and call an option to the left instead. The playbook of Aaron Rodgers being a football wizard, not even with the football in his hands, allows the Steelers to progress. And I think we've seen that, like, him and Arthur Smith are on the same wavelength in calling plays and what they want to run and running these boot actions. And what I said before the year is that Aaron Rodgers is almost a superfied version of Ryan Tannehill in Tennessee. And I stand by that. I think that the Steelers,
what are your better comparisons?
The Steelers will continue to be good, not at Aaron Rodgers' expense of his body, but his expense of his ability to call plays and be a game manager. So like they remind me a lot of the Niners of the past few years.
Yeah. I agree with everything you say. Obviously, big shout out to Kenny G. You look at him starting a game, you're like, ugh, but then he comes through for your fantasy team. 2 of them, in Danny's case. Chris, let me move to you. The Vikings just this offense. I mean, until 2 or 5 minutes left in the game, there was just not a lot going.
Nothing
for them. Are we sticking a fork in the Viking season? Do you what exactly? How would you even approach this? I mean, they're 2-2, so it's not but they're one of those 2-2 teams where it feels like the end of the world because you're essentially rookie quarterback, first year quarterback. This isn't healthy. He's not the kind of guy yet that can just lead you all the way back. So, how should the Vikings take things going forward? Do you think they should maybe just be very, very cautious with McCarthy, not exactly call it a lost season, but what are you doing if you're Coach Kevin?
They should take a look at their pockets, pull out their phones, call the 49ers and see what the price is for Brock Purdy. And the reason I say this, I don't think McCarthy sucks or anything, But I think the 49ers are closer to starting over than competing the game because of the injuries. In my personal opinion, I think the Vikings have that type of offense where Purdy can thrive. Personally, I believe he could. So if you want to try to compete now where the NFC is, I mean, the Eagles are still there, but if it's open-ish, if you feel it's open-ish, I feel like now would be the time to make that move. I don't think McCarthy's ready to do that just yet. Not that he won't be, but I don't think he's ready to do that yet. And I think that was my fear coming in, is just the expectations are going to be so high because of who the coach is, how they had success last year with Darnold, and he wasn't good before, blah, 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 blah. He's still a rookie. He's still got to figure a lot of things out. And the Vikings they have a team that's kind of ready to compete now outside of quarterback, I would say, like as far as the veterans they have and the good players they have on the most important parts of the field. I think they're ready to compete now. So I think if it's any time to make a crazy splash move, it will be now. And I think that would be the thing to do. I think McCarthy can grow. He's going to grow regardless of if he's in the Vikings or 49ers, but I think they're at the place right now where they should try to strike right now. And I think that's what they should do because I don't think McCarthy's going to be able to do it this year or next. There's going to be a later breakout for him just because he kind of got off to a late start with the injuries to start his career. So that's what I take away from it from the Vikings side of it.
Yeah, that's not the worst take ever. Obviously I would stick with the young quarterback, but this is something I've been thinking for a while, and this take really, really backs it up for you. You are so NBA pilled with a lot of your NFL takes too. Because at the NBA, if your first round pick sucks, bro, we won't even give it a year. You are gone. And I don't hate that. Like, the NFL is very patient and it's a very coach oriented sport. So I do get it, but I also get the impatience of things. I really do. So I'm not mad at that.
I get it.
I get it. I wouldn't do it personally, but I do.
The impatience is coming from having Jets.
I know how Chris's mind works, so and that's why I get it.
And on top of that, it's like having Jettas right now, and also this is NBA coded for sure. Like, you want to prove to your star you're going to try to win. Like, that's more NBA because the star can ask out. It's easier to trade type of thing. But I think it's like for me, for the Vikings, I think Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson, the older guys that are Jefferson not old,
Jefferson old.
So I'm saying not him, like the guys who are actually older that are 28, 29 and older that contribute so much. If it was me, and obviously I'm a basketball fan, so that's why I'm thinking first, I would try to go get a win now. That's basketball too. I would try to get a win now.
That makes total sense. That makes total sense. Same thing with the Hawks. It's like, it just so happens like that our first overall pick, who's 20 years old, can contribute to our 27-year-old point guard right now. That's why he's around. But if he wasn't,
they would have been Chris, would you take
I'm asking you a question right now. At the end of October, the Vikings are they're going to be 3-4. What do you do? Because they have the Browns, the Eagles, and the Chargers in the next 3 weeks.
No, I wouldn't make a trade or anything like that.
That Chargers game ain't losable, or it's not unwinnable. I'll say that.
I understand. It's a Thursday night in LA. It's a short week after playing the Eagles. It's not
against that battered offensive line.
I understand that. I know.
I might pick the Vikings.
I'm just gonna say, if they start 3-4, where do you go when you have the Lions, the sputtering Ravens in November, the Bears, the Packers, and the Seahawks, all following up after that tough October? If you start 3-4, where do you go? There ain't no place to run. There's no Patriots. There's no Panthers. There's no Saints on your schedule. You can't run and hide. You got to face your demons, or you're done. This team's not winning 14 games. It's not winning 11 games like they did last year. I think they're going to be a lot closer to 7.
I know you asked Chris this, but what I would say personally, that would be the perfect time to throw JJ McCarthy back in.
I agree.
Throw him back in young, and it don't get worse than this. It does not get worse than this. These are the toughest teams in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
But you give us the best shot to win.
Absolutely cooked.
Could be a confidence booster, to be honest.
Tough November, they got the Commanders. The Cowboys they should beat. The Giants and Lions again. Like, they have all their division left. I mean, they could beat their division rivals. I get that, but I'm seeing a down year for this team.
Let's shift to the
Cowboys in December?
Cowboys. The world's greatest tie.
You know,
This isn't a win for the Cowboys, obviously, but it feels like a loss for the Packers.
100% is.
Cowboys, man, you say that's a team they should beat. But, when Dak is in that mode, they will – whoever get ball last. When Dak is in that mode, whoever get ball last. Because it genuinely gets to a point where it doesn't matter who lines up in front of him. He's in a mode that gets him in these top quarterback discourses. Because damn it, during the regular season, he's just about as good as anybody. He makes me sick that he can't translate it to the postseason.
It's kind of funny. The Cowboys are a missed field goal from distance away from being 0-2-2.
Yes, they are. But they're maybe a Miles Sanders fumble away from being 2-1-1 right now, and it ain't so bad.
Sure.
So, what did we think about this game? I mean, the Packers defense for the first 2 weeks were like, this is the best defense in the NFL, and Micah Parsons is a Reggie White. And the last 2 weeks were like, you lost to the Browns on the road, and you just gave up 40 to the Cowboys, which is nothing to be ashamed of, but you gave up 40. You shouldn't really be doing that for anyone, regardless of who's at quarterback. Not to mention CeeDee Lamb wasn't playing, so Micah Parsons still is Reggie White. That part didn't change. But
this Packers team is purely Jordan Love coded. The highs are very high, and the lows are so low. And Jordan Love is the perfect quarterback for this team because literally it is the team. You got plays where Golden isn't running straight and he just decides to coast out of bounds on a go ball, and he should take it 80 yards to the house against the Browns. Like, that happens. But then, Romeo Doubs scores 3 touchdowns, in a game. Legitimately, this team has players who have the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, and it's all back-to-back weeks, and it doesn't make sense. This team just doesn't make sense. If they were to show any bit of consistency, it would make sense. But, that's why they're Super Bowl contenders, because their highs are that high. They just need to limit their lows. We saw them on the brink of beating the Niners when the Niners went to Super Bowl 2 years ago without Micah Parsons.
Yeah, that is true. I will say this though. I mean, as we turn to Chris here, Chris isn't the biggest Jordan Love guy, but there are games. Okay, there are going to be games where Jordan Love's cost you, like the Browns. Like the Browns game, Jordan Love has to be better. There are games like this where you gotta back him up. Like, this was a special performance by him, I think. He turned the ball over, 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. He's going band for band with one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL because he is one of those as well. But this defense just makes me sick. They were horrible. Chris, what do you think about the Packers in this one? Defense didn't step up. Love played great. What are some adjustments you think they have to make going into next week?
It shows that football really is any given Sunday. It's any given Sunday because the Packers defense looked like the most ridiculous defense for a couple quarters. Then you'd be like
Swiss cheese.
They looked like your guys.
They looked like the Crows. I don't know who that Ravens team is.
The Ratbirds.
Like the Crows. But I think I don't know, dude. It just the defense is what really made me upset, but it was like, dang. Y'all were the ones I feel like were holding it down. Jordan Love was throwing it to literally anybody who had on a green jersey. He's been doing that since the season started. They got 11 receivers that they use. He finds every one of them for something. So like I said, I'll be wrong on Jordan Love. I'll be first to say I was wrong. I thought he was pretty mid. He's way better than mid. I tell you that. I think defense has got to bounce back next week, and I think that's going to happen. Also it proves that Micah Parsons can't do everything. He just can't. He can't do everything. He's going to draw a double team, but you got to do your job too. And I think the Cowboys' offense is really good, even without CeeDee Lamb. The Cowboys' offense has the tools to be really good. Javonte Williams is running the ball really, really, really well. And he keeps that up. This Cowboys' offense is going to be top 6. No, I'm just playing. They're going to be really good too. And I think that's kind of what they showed, that they can. It with just Pickens and Prescott. They can do it. And I think that was really awesome to see. And like I said, like you said earlier, this tie is more like a W for the Cowboys and the L for the Packers. It was so much a W for the Cowboys. People were telling me that Dak is better than Lamar from tying with the Packers. I sent it to these two. I sent it. That was an actual message that I got. So whatever voodoo magic that was in that game, I'm happy is over. I'm just happy it's over. I need people to get back to regular life.
Madness of a game, but sometimes, man, Dak will have you playing so well, you truly do wonder, if he belongs in certain combos, but he plays a certain way in January that doesn't allow for that. But let's move on to our final game of the recap: Ravens, Chiefs. Ravens.
First, close your ears.
We're kind of out of the game at this point, but Lamar unfortunately suffered a hamstring injury. Don't know if he was playing through that, which kind of led to some of the wonky, plays by him that, not to join the holding the ball discourse. That's not where I'm going with this, but there were times where he just wouldn't even make the explosive plays. He wouldn't hit the deep shots over the middle, which is like, that's not Lamar like. So I don't know if maybe the hamstring was affecting him more than I thought, but I mean, Danny, we were watching this game together. We have to start with this Chiefs offense. Worthy comes back and they look entirely different. So different. We're hitting deep shots down the sidelines. We're able to run the ball decent at the very least. They were calling it vintage Mahomes. Mind you, he's in his prime. They were calling it vintage Mahomes. That's how good the offense looked. Danny, what was your takeaway from this game? At least, from a both, you can have a takeaway from the Chiefs side of things and the Ravens side of things.
Chiefs start 0-2. They don't go away. We doubted Mahomes. Oh, the Chiefs lost 3 straight. They are going to be fine.
I ain't say all that.
You didn't. A lot of people did.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice comes back in 2 weeks. He was looking like an all-pro receiver last time he touched the field. He was looking like a top 10 receiver in the NFL. I don't know if that translates back as soon as he gets back, but if it comes anywhere near that, they're having Kelsey being okay, Worthy, Rice, Juju, Tyquan Thornton looks like decent somehow. I don't know what they did to him, but he went from one of the biggest busts in the second round of recent memory to serviceable Chiefs player, which the Chiefs consistently do year over year. They take other people's trash and turn it into treasure. So never count Mahomes out. I think they should still be favorites to win this division, especially with the Chargers banged up. He's still Patrick Mahomes, and let's never bet against him until he gets old and hobbled. And, he might even find that Brady gear where he learns how to just be a pocket passer when he turns 35.
Well, Brady was always there. But where were you when Brady lost his wheels?
Brady, he learned how to only be a pocket guy though.
In Tampa, I'd argue he was running faster. The weather down there, you travel better. He's like a football.
Yeah, all that Botox in the face must have helped him run faster.
Oh my gosh. I know a guy playing to keep his wife when I see one.
Hell yeah.
That was the best part. But Chris, let's move to you. Lamar's going to be out for a couple weeks. The defense is battered. The top players aren't looking like the top players. What are the vibes like in Baltimore, and how do we fix it?
Thank you, Ravens flock.
Thank you, fans.
Thank you, fans. It's been a great ride.
So
y'all know,
is over.
Y'all know me, bro. Y'all know I love John Harbaugh, bro. I do. Y'all too young to have seen Harlem Nights, but it's a part where Wesley Snipes holds a gun up to his friend, and he's crying as he about to shoot him. That's how I feel with John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
I'm crying as you got to get out of here. It's about time. And take Zach Orr with you. I love Zach Orr as a Raven for the games he played for us. It was really, really quick, but he's really impactful. You got to go. And my friend Jalen's a big Ravens fan like me. It may be time to blow it up outside of just a couple guys, because I think the culture is it's messed up. It's not what it was. And I think John Harbaugh is leaning to that Doc Rivers side of it. Well, we won that Super Bowl 47 years ago, so I'm still a Super Bowl winning head coach. As that's starting to wear off too. And I think the point that you made that sticks out to me is about Lamar. He's not even being special right now. And it's irritating me because I've watched him hit this gear before where it's like he's kind of coasting. I want him to go be special. Like I was talking to my friend about this. Like, bro, you've proven you can be a pocket passer. Nobody can say you can't do that anymore. Go back to being special. That's what this team needs right now. I know with all the names we have, it looks like we don't. That's what this team needs. This team needs special Lamar right now. I need him to go act like it's Willie Snead and Deshaun Jackson is wide receiver 1 and 2 again. I need him to go be special. And I think he's been either not doing it because he doesn't, for whatever reason, or maybe he was actually hurt. So I want to see what it is. That's my takeaway. And then excuses injuries aren't an excuse because every team's injured. But Lord Jesus, Nnamdi and Marlon being out is detrimental because you got your defensive line and your back line. I mean, he's a corner, but got your back line injured. Van Noy is going to be out. Likely still hasn't played. It's just so much.
Right, likely played last week, right?
No, I'm saying like hasn't played. Well, I know he played for the first time, but he hasn't really gotten to the real.
Yeah, I get it
Just yet. So I just think that, and with Lamar being out, this is supposed to be a good stretch that they can come back up for air and look like they can, make a run at it. But I think with Lamar out, they damn near lose to the Texans. And if they do, that's my 13. So do a wellness check.
They scored the third most points in the AFC.
Crazy.
Sorry, second most. And they've given up 133, which
crazy.
Obviously one. You want to hear the other teams who've given up over 100 points in the NFL in the AFC?
Oh, not
the Jets.
Jets, yeah.
The Dolphins. The Bengals. The Browns. The Browns unfortunately did, but it's close. The Titans. And the Ravens give 133. The Browns give up 102. All those other teams are right around the Ravens. The Ravens defense is that bad.
It's ass, literally.
Yeah.
We could have kept Brandon Stevens for this.
Look, and we're going into the game saying, this Chiefs offense has been sputtering. They barely put any points up against the Giants. They've been struggling. We go into that game and say, wow, the Chiefs are back.
But that's my thing, Danny. I'm not
the Chiefs aren't back. Maybe the Chiefs aren't back. Maybe the Ravens' defense is just that bad.
Yes, that's where I'm at. I think the Chiefs played a good game. Like, I don't think they played bad. Obviously, they played good, but I don't think they were like – it didn't make me say, oh, well, I knew not to – I mean, I know not to bet against Patrick Mahomes, but it didn't make me say, oh, yeah, Pat and Kelsey and Worthy and everybody else is – no, it didn't make me do that.
I agree with you, dude.
It was like they didn't have to do Chiefs stuff. It was simple shit. We couldn't stop Kareem Hunt or Pacheco. We couldn't stop Pacheco, who's only been running hard the last couple games. He hasn't been running fast or going anywhere, just running really hard, and he gets a touchdown. It's just it now saying that to say this could be a game where the Chiefs do build momentum and then they, get it going because they did have a good showing, but I don't think they were spectacular. I think they were good, and I think the Ravens were just that bad, personally.
I think the Ravens are missing out on Nnamdi Madubuike, and it's going to kill their season. It kills their season. He's a game wrecker, and he's been underrated for years now. I think he's a top 5 defensive tackle in the NFL.
My only comments on the Ravens defense is just fire the defensive coordinator. The just lack of adjustments make me so sick. You see your guys out there just giving it their all, like Roquan, I think had a hamstring sprain or something. Like, you have your all pros giving it their all, and you don't even have the decency to just to help them. Like, yeah, look, they can only do what they're told. Kyle Hamilton can only play in the box if he's told, So it's just disappointing. This is a very talented defense. It's clearly just being misguided.
100%.
So, yeah, I hope they can scrape at least a win together in Lamar's absence because, even at 2-5, I very much believe Lamar Jackson could bring them to the playoffs. I still very much believe that. Lamar Jackson is that caliber of player. He is arguably the best player on the planet. They just got to get it together. That side
They've
of the
done
ball.
it before.
He can bring them home.
They've done it before. Take it one game at a time. But look at this. Let's say you're 2-5 after after a stretch in
After 3-game stretch without Lamar.
You got the Vikings, the Browns, the Jets, and the Bengals, in November. You win all 4 of those, and you're slightly 7-5.
Hey, now
6-5, 7-5. They can do that. And
7-seed Ravens taking down 2-seed
Steelers.
Who even gonna be the 2-seed at this point?
Steelers.
2-seed Steelers. What are we gonna do? 2-seed Colts. What are we gonna do?
Yo, 2-seed Colts would be the most dirty work.
Man, how about
I think the Steelers probably actually benefit off of seeing a 3-seed.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But that's all for the recap. Let's real quick get these Thursday night picks in. Not really much to talk about, in my opinion. Going Rams.
Yeah, I'm going on the second Super Bowl favorite of mine. I think they should have the second best odds right behind the Eagles, because if they come out of the NFC, this team will win the Super Bowl.
Good flaming hot take.
I got the Rams too.
Yeah. Nice and easy. But that's everything we got for you guys. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Audio listeners, leave a like, 5-star review. From AP New Freezer, Culture by Migos, DC Comics. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys later this week.
Tony's 23.